Hello. So I don't know how this is going to work. I am outside recording right now in our backyard. Of course, our neighbor's dogs just started barking. I'm trying to sit back here so that you don't hear the traffic so much because we live really close to a very busy country road. So, yeah, I'm sitting out here. It's a bit breezy and also kind of sunny in and out. So, yeah, we're just gonna go for it. Welcome to the channel. I recently renamed this channel Murder She Sewed, and if you're at all confused, Murders is my married last name, so Maria Murders, and it's an interesting last name, and it's new to me. We just got married last year. So I changed my sewing Instagram to Murder She Sewed and decided to change this channel name to that as well. And I've been posting most of my sewing content over on my other channel, which is Tuscan Knits, or actually it's Maria Tuscan. Um, but I decided to go back to this channel, which was So Old Soul previously, just just to have a place for my sewing, because I did this with Instagram. I went back to my sewing Instagram. Last year I didn't really do anything on the So Old Soul Instagram or YouTube channel, but I wanted to change that. I might put this hat on. I brought a hat to block my face from the sun, and now it got cloudy. Anyway, make up your minds. So, what was I gonna say? Yes, so since last year, since my wedding and sewing my wedding dress, I really got into vintage sewing and using vintage patterns, and I've been talking about that over on Maria Tuscan on that channel. So I'll link that below if you're not familiar with that channel. I know it's kind of confusing that I have two channels, so I'm gonna try to stick to the two and do all my sewing on this channel. Anyways, yeah, so I got really into vintage sewing, and that's basically all I've been interested in sewing ever since last summer. So I have some new things to share with you. Uh, these dresses kind of swinging in the background. I have 4 new dresses that I've made recently for summer, like spring, summer. And yeah, I just wanted to share those with you. Before I do that, I get a lot of questions on my Instagram about how I do my hair. It's very simple. So all I do is I use a curling iron. I just use the kind without the clamp, just where you wrap the hair around. I've just gotten used to using that kind, so that's what I prefer. And I use the curling iron, make a curl, and then curl it up and pin it to my head. And I'll show a photo of what it looks like when it's finished. I took a photo this morning of my hair when it was all pinned to my head. So I have very fine hair, so I don't need to do a lot of pin curls. If you have thicker hair, you'll probably need to do a bit more. And you can look up pin curl tutorials on YouTube. And most people, when they do pin curls, they do a wet set and they sleep on it, but I find that very uncomfortable. So I just do a quick way and use the curling iron, and I leave the curls up for at least 30 minutes. This morning I did it a bit longer because I put the curls up and then sometimes I get distracted and do some other work or housework or cleaning. So then I take it out and brush it. I use various methods for brushing just to get different looks. Today I just used a round brush with synthetic bristles, and some days I use a boar bristle brush. Some days I just use a comb. just kind of depending on the look I want, and every day is different, and you just kind of have to go with what your hair is doing that day. You can never get it to look exactly the same every day. It's just kind of it's fun actually, so you never quite know what it's gonna do. So yeah, that is how I do my hair most of the time. So that being said, I'm going to talk about the first dress that I made this year. All right, so the first dress that I made this year was this one here. And I will put in photos of me wearing all of these dresses. And maybe I'll do like a thing where I, show you a little video of me wearing them. This is a vintage pattern from the 40s, from a vintage pattern. And I used this fabric I've had in my stash for quite a while. It's a Robert Kaufman Essex linen cotton blend. So Robert Kaufman has two different linen blends. There's the Essex, which is linen cotton, and then there's Brussels, which I made a dress out of as well. So I can show you both. This fabric, I'd never worked with it before. I really like it. From the reviews on fabric.com, a lot of people said it was really itchy. It's a tiny bit itchy. I do have very, very sensitive skin as well. It's a tiny bit itchy, but not really. And I've washed this, I think I only washed the fabric once so far. And yeah, I don't find it very itchy. This is the natural color, and it's kind of a medium weight linen cotton blend. I think it would work well for lots of different things: pants, skirts, tops, dresses, just about anything. Even home decor, curtains and such. But yeah, I really like it. It's a super easy fabric to work with. It has a good amount of drape, but it's not slinky. It's more of the drape of a cotton, like a quilting cotton. Maybe slightly more drapey because of the linen. This dress, let's see, I have notes here. This dress has a high neckline, so a jewel neckline is that sort of iconic 40s, really high neckline that just like covers the neck perfectly. I don't know if I have like a wider neck than normal, but I feel like I do. So I did make the neck opening just a tiny bit wider. So basically how I did that is when I sewed it up, I sewed over, I think like a 1/4 of an inch further on the seam allowance. So I think the seam allowance was 1/2 an inch. So I sewed at 3/4 of an inch all the way around the neckline. Now the dogs are barking because I think the mailman's here. So that's one modification I made. Another one is I did the buttons a little different. I rarely ever follow button placements on patterns. I just put the buttons where I think they look good. And this, it just had big buttons all the way down, like 3, like kind of really big buttons. And I decided to do smaller buttons, and I did something that I've seen before from actual vintage garments, like pictures I've seen, where the buttons you place like little buttons 2 really close together all the way down. So that's what I did on this, and I really like that. It's just a neat little detail. This has 3/4 length sleeves, which I don't normally do, but I like it. It's great for kind of the in-between weather. And the one detail I really like on this is this yoke. It's on both the back and the front. It's the same on both. And it's just gathered below that. And I like gathering, and I'll be talking about that a little more with some of my other dresses. But yeah, it adds these nice gathers, and I like the yoke. Some people don't like that. I guess it could draw attention to your stomach, but it could also, if you put some interfacing in there, or maybe just some quilting cotton or something on the other side, it could actually sort of act as like a waist stay and kind of hold your tummy in a little bit. So I think it could be actually a good thing. It has, oh, and I also love, it's sort of like a raglan sleeve. So the sleeve sort of has this curved raglan look, which is great, and it's way easier to insert. Yeah, so I do like this dress. The high neckline makes me a little uncomfortable, but on a cooler day, and I think in the winter time and in the fall, I'm really gonna like this. But right now, it's just been so warm recently that yeah, I don't always want that super high neckline, and I don't have a really long neck either. I think if you got a long neck, it could be really flattering, but it's it's okay. The neckline is okay. It's not my favorite neckline, but I've never done this kind of neckline on a dress before, and I wanted to try it, so I'm glad I did. And now I will show you the next dress. All right, this one I made using the same pattern that I used for my wedding dress. And this is just a really lightweight, like cotton lawn, and I've had this for a couple years. This one I don't like as much. I've worn it a bit, and I'll show you some pictures of it. It's really comfortable, but I find I don't like the way the fabric drapes, or I guess sort of the lack of drape in this fabric. I really, really like the fabric I used for the wedding dress, which was a very, very drapey, slinky rayon crepe. And yeah, this is just a cotton, doesn't have as much drape. And yeah, I find I just don't like it as much in this pattern. Yeah, it has these yokes right here on the front. That's sort of the distinguishing detail on this dress. And I like that detail, but I like it more in a drapey fabric. It just looks a lot better with the gathers under these yokes. And then I do like the collar and the neckline. I need to press this, but it just lays really nice on my neck, and it just feels really comfy and cozy. Yeah, other than that, I mean, this dress, it fits really well. I like this color, and I like this fabric. It's not my favorite, but you learn something every time. I don't think I made any modifications really with this dress. Yeah, just made it as is, and that's all I have to say about this one. The next one is this lovely little number. This is a combination of one pattern from the 1940s, and I'll show a picture of that. And then I decided to take the bodice from that pattern and combine it with a gathered skirt and then put buttons all the way down the skirt so that I can just put it on much more easily than the infamous side zipper, which if you're a sewist and if you sew vintage patterns, you will know what a pain it is to put on and take off dresses with a side zipper. And I'm very small busted, and I can only imagine if you have a larger bust, like, it must be near impossible to get the dresses on sometimes without ripping the side. So I like that, though there are some things about this dress I don't like as much. This is Kaufman Brussels linen rayon blend. So this one is much more drapey and slinky than the Kaufman Essex. Yeah, it just has the most gorgeous drape. I love it. It would be great for long, flowy pants. It feels very cool against the skin. Yeah, it's gorgeous. This color is the Paris blue color. Again, I need to press this. It was just hanging in my closet. I don't know about you. I think most people are this way. But there are certain colors that you just don't wear. And one of those colors for me is blue. And I like blue as a color, but I don't wear it very often. And it's mostly because there was one summer I worked at a summer camp. I think I was 16 that summer. And the staff shirt that year was a royal blue. And I had to wear that color shirt 6 days a week for the entire summer. And I felt so awful every day having to wear that color. It's the worst color on my skin tone. It can't get any worse than that. And I felt so like sick every day wearing that color. And ever since then I just haven't liked blue. But there are other blues that I can wear, and I think this is one of them. But because I just don't wear blue, and I haven't worn it for so long, I'm still just not very comfortable wearing it. Even though I think this one looks good on me, I don't feel right in it. And this dress is very comfortable. The fabric is so comfortable. But yeah, I guess I'll try to wear it more. I will. It's just hard for me. Yeah, let me know in the comments below if you have any color like that. My notes just flew far, far away into the blackberries, so I think they're gone. Yeah, anyway, just gotta remember everything now. Yes, I like this. I love the fit of this. I love the raglan sleeves on this pattern. It has this great, these like pleats, this pleat section in the back that like opens up. I love that detail. I like the collar. I like the neckline. So the modifications when I added the gathered skirt. Ooh, that cloud is so nice. I had to add a waistband because this fabric is pretty heavy, and without a waistband, I knew that there would just be too much weight on the bodice, so I added a waistband. Unfortunately, the waistband is a little too thick, and it means that the waist is a little too low on me, so it's kind of uncomfortable. And I have a low waist too, but it's just a little too far down. So maybe I can adjust that. It's going to be a little hard, but yeah, I wear a belt with it as well. and I did a really nice deep. I love really big, heavy, deep hems on my skirts. I find that they just flow and hang so much better. It's getting chilly now. So I do like this dress in a lot of ways. I definitely want to make this pattern again. I did long sleeves, which I never do. I wanted to do something different. So yeah, I did long sleeves and they have a little cuff. Yeah, I love this dress, but it's still uncomfortable because of the color. But yeah, let me know what you think. If it flatters me, I think it does. But anyway, it's kind of a mostly a success. And then I bring you this beautiful little dress here. I love this fabric. Just look at that. So I've had this fabric again for a couple years and I loved it so much that I was scared to use it, but I finally just took the plunge and made something out of it. So this is just a really, really lightweight cotton. I would consider it cotton voile, though it was labeled as a cotton lawn. But it's really, really lightweight and not as tightly woven as a cotton lawn. So I wish it was more high quality of a fabric, but I love this print so much. I wish Liberty had this print because I would buy yards and yards of it. But yeah, this pattern was again from a 40s pattern, and 1942 seems to be like the best year for patterns, at least in my opinion, because it seems like most of the patterns I choose to make are from 1942. So this is actually one size smaller than what I normally make in 40s patterns. I normally do a size 14, which is a 32 bust, 26.5-inch waist. And this is a size 12, which is a 30 bust and a 25-inch waist. So it's a little tight in the waist. Actually, the bust seems to fit fine because of the gathering. You know, there's a little bit of space there, but the waist is a little tight on this. But other than that, I love the fit of this. I think I might, from now on, sort of take in my 40s patterns just a little bit to make it more this size, except in the waist. It's not very comfortable to have a super tight waist because you can always wear a belt and cinch it in. But yeah, this pattern, oh my gosh, I love this collar. It's like a tiny little shawl collar, and then I need to put some bias binding around this back section, and then it like goes out at the ends here. I hope you can see this. Yeah, it has a waistband, the side zipper, which not very much fun to take on or take off or put on. It has this really cute little bow detail, which I love. I didn't think it would add that much to it, but then when I put it on, it just totally pulled the whole thing together. Gathered skirt, which I really like. I find I'm really liking gathered skirts, and I think I always have liked gathered skirts. But yeah, I think I made it a little bit more gathered than the pattern because I just wanted to use up all the fabric I had. And that's really easy to do with gathered skirts. Um, but yeah, I don't know what else I have to say. I love this. I love the neckline. It's kind of a little bit deeper of a V than you normally see in 40s patterns, but it's just perfect for me. And I definitely want to make this pattern again. I'll just increase the waistband size a little bit, and then I think it'll be perfect. So that is everything I've made recently. I really like making dresses in the spring and summer, and I figured out why it is that I prefer wearing separates in the winter. And it's because ever since I started sewing, I've been able to choose what colors I wear because I can choose the fabrics and the pattern and combine them. So I like wearing lighter colors next to my face. And in the winter time, you usually have to wear tights if you're wearing a dress. So it doesn't always look right if you wear, for example, this dress that I'm wearing now wouldn't really look right with tights or black tights, which is what I pretty much only wear in wintertime. I don't really like colored tights. It just wouldn't look right. So in winter, I can, make a skirt, like a gray skirt, and then wear whatever color top I want with it, and then a cardigan. So it allows me to have those colors that I like next to my face. And in the summer, spring and summer, I can just make a dress, and it's so much easier to wear a dress. You can it's an outfit. All you have to do is put the dress on, and you can um, wear different shoes with it or different sweaters. But yeah, it's just so much easier, and I find they're really comfortable. So I don't really have much desire to make skirts right now. My mind is on dresses, dresses, dresses. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope the lighting wasn't too weird. I have a really nice cloud right now, which I wish was here earlier, but I'm not going to go back and re-record everything. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it. I hope it worked. And thank you so much for watching. Again, like and subscribe. I'm hopefully going to be posting more on this channel and also on my Murder She Sewed Instagram. So yeah, follow me there if you want. And thank you again, and I hope you're having a lovely day wherever you are. Bye.